mesu erade se woni mi gbanko bia ne mabanka se yankopana me de me ho matowo so. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again, shall you succeed and be blessed in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. He done this in the Most High, Almighty God, creator of the heaven and earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure, they are yea and amen. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed, let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed, yeah. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Yeah. Let me hear you say, ooh, Lord. Everybody sing, ooh, Lord, yeah. We want on that team, we can, ooh, Lord, yeah. You've been so long. You got the enemy, shuffle, hearing me. Mommy, don't move from Eddie Dibia. Jao mi konsiwa ehojo na manumya shemi kerama. Jao mi konsiwa ehojo na manumya shemi kerama. Enti misuro anajubo bombiara. Misuro anajubo bombiara. Nonne makucham. Nanimu anije Ninu nasina metina. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure, they are yea and amen. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed, let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David did. Yes. We want on that team, we can, ooh, Lord, yeah. Blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Na mesu erade se woni mi gbanko bia ne mabanka se yankopana me de me ho matowo so. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again, shall you succeed and be blessed in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Me adore the Most High, Almighty God, Creator of the heaven and earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. For you, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David did. Let me hear you say, ooh, Lord. Everybody sing, ooh, Lord, We want on that team, we can, ooh, Lord, You've been so long. You got the enemy, shuffle, hearing me. Mommy, don't from Eddie Dibia. Tell me cause you are ehojo Namanunga Shamikirama. Tell me cause you are ehojo Namanunga Shamikirama. Enti Misuro Anajubu Bombiara. Misuro Anajubu Bombiara. Ononema Kucham Nema Kucham Nyannimu wanije Ninu nasina metina. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. For you, I feel blessed 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David danced. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. Can just like David did. We want on that team, we can, ooh, Lord, Blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Namesu eradise wunimi banko biane mabanke se yankupana medeme ho matoso. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again, shall you succeed and be blessed. In the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Me adore the Most High, Almighty God, Creator of the heaven and earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. For you, I feel blessed 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David did. Let me hear you say, ooh, Lord. Everybody sing, ooh, Lord. We want on that team, we can, ooh, Lord. You've been so long. You got the enemy, shuffle, hearing me. Mommy, don't move from Eddie Dibia. Ujao mi konsiwa ehojo, na manuya shemikirama. Ujao mi konsiwa ehojo, na manuya shemikirama. Enti, misuro, anajubu bombiara. Misuro, anajubu bombiara. Nonne makucham, Nyani muwanije, Ninu nasina metina. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David did. We want on that team, we can, ooh, Lord. Blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Na mesi wo erade se woni mi gbanko bia ne mabanke se yankopana me de me ho matowo so. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again shall you succeed and be blessed. In the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. We are done this with the Most High, Almighty God, Creator of the heaven and earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed. I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your Everybody sing, ooh Lord, yeah, yeah. We want on that same muka, ooh Lord, yeah. You've been so long. You didn't let me show, hearing me. Mommy, don't from Eddie Dibia. Tell me, consumer, and would you? Namanunga shall make your man. Tell me, consumer, and would you? Namanunga shall make your man. Indeed, Miss Row, and I do from Biara. Miss Row, and I do from Biara. On Nemakucham. Nanimu anije Ninu nasina metna I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are here and amen. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. Can just like you we want on that same muka, ooh Lord, yeah. Blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Namesu eradise wunimi banko biane mabanke se yankupana medeme ho matoso. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again, shall you succeed and be blessed. In the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. He had done this with the Most High, Almighty God, creator of the heaven and earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Let me hear you say, ooh Lord. Everybody sing, ooh Lord, yeah, yeah. We want on that same muka, ooh Lord, yeah. You've been so long. You didn't let me show, hearing me. Mommy, don't from Eddie Dibia. Tell me, Namanu Yasha Mikirama. Ujao Mikonsua Ehoju. Namanu Yasha Mikirama. Enti Misuro, Anajubu Bombiara. Misuro, Anajubu Bombiara. Ononima Kucham, Nima Kucham, Yanimu Anije, Ninu Nasinam.
Honey, won't you come to bed?
I'll be with you. I'll be with you shortly.
Come on, let's go to bed too. And you're doing this.
Sir? Sweetheart, I think it's getting late. You should come to bed.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle Whyte at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies.
Hello, and welcome to ENCORE, the Facebook Live platform on which we discuss all things marriage, sex, relationship, and what have you. It feels good to be back in the studio after is it 4 weeks? We've been out of the studio for 4 weeks, right? So it feels good to be back in the studio. We are not back to full, what do you call it, strength yet because of the social distancing protocols. But at least we feel comfortable enough to operate from the studio. So let me just acknowledge Mavis Esenam is with us, Makai Day, Hetty, thank you. Hannah is with us, Desire. Desire says a happy new month to you. Yes, to all of us. Frimpoma, it's good to have you. Ama, Esiama, Gloria, and then Equia, Donko, Aaron, Charles, Mami, Araba, Ama, Kunedu, and Aris, Nanose, and all of you who are out there. This is just to say thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you for being with us. We are back. And today, to mark our return to the studio. Oh, and we are on Facebook and Instagram Live, right? Okay. So please share this. Let's build a bigger community. So invite people to join you. Now, as we resume operations from the studio, I wanted a very laid-back day. I wanted a presentation that, for me, would take me back 37 years. I married 37 years ago at the age of 29. And so I am looking at what advice I would give to my 29-year-old self. So what would I give to my 29-year-old self if I had met him dressing up for his wedding? What would I have told him? Now, because I was 29 then, I'm going to give you 29 points for each point. That is if we have the time to run through all of them. Each point for 1 year of my age at that time. That is 37 years ago. So if you're ready, this is the marriage advice I will give my 29-year-old self. The first one is appreciate the woman you have. Appreciate the woman you have. accept her for who she is, and you'll be fine. I realize after all these years that there are lots of people who marry and are looking at other people and wishing they had married those people. And because of that, they do not accept the good woman God has given them. I have learned that God has blessed me with a good woman. And once you appreciate her and accept her, you'll be fine. You will be fine. 2, marriage is very different from courtship. That is something that we all learn the hard way. For many people think that marriage will be an extension of courtship. You enjoy courtship so much that you think that, oh, okay, because courtship entails, if you're doing it right, I know your generation, not everybody is doing it right, but if you're doing courtship right, i.e. you haven't moved in together, you know, then there is that aspect of, just when you are beginning to enjoy each other's company, then it is time for one of you to go home, and you wish that, oh, well, if we marry, then we wouldn't have to say goodbye, and we can have extended time together, and we'll have a wonderful time together, and all that. No, marriage is. Is there a problem with the sound? It's okay. All right. Okay. Marriage is very, very different from courtship. For one thing, courtship is easier. Courtship, if I got angry with Florence, she's going home. I'm also going home. We have enough space to work it out on our own. In marriage, when you are angry, you are going to the same bedroom, or you are lying on the same bed. If you are that angry and you get up from the bed, where are you going? You are going to the hall. Me too, I'm going to the hall. So that room to work out anger is not there. The sense of entitlement in marriage is not there for courtship. Courtship, if I gave 1 hour, if I visited 1 hour, you are happy that, oh, you took time to come. I'm happy you could come. In marriage, why are you going? Why are you coming home late? And things like that. So marriage and courtship are very different things, and you've got to recognize that. Otherwise, it will mess you up. 3, and the third point is for the crife in me. Marriage does not end sexual temptations. Oh, I still remember my 20s when I used to dream that, whoa, when I get married, then I'll have all the sex I need, and so I wouldn't look on any woman would lust again for the rest of my life. And now I look at that and I go, ha, 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 ha. Because boy, you don't know what you're talking about. Andrew, what was the term that you used in one of the places? You don't know what is what going on. Yeah. No, marriage will not end it. So you've got to find a way of find a way of solving your issues with sexual desire before you marry. Otherwise, marriage would only accentuate it. It will make it worse. So remember that. 4, your marriage is your first ministry and your first mission field. And I say this because a lot of men focus on making a name outside the home. They focus on earning a reputation outside the home. So that outside the home, everybody knows them as nice, everybody knows them as caring, everybody knows them as godly, everybody knows them as people who love God and are serving God. But at home, nobody knows them. You must understand that if you do not represent yourself well at home, it doesn't matter who you are outside. You are a fraud. So whatever you are, let the people in the house be the first to testify to that. Let your spouse and your children be the first to say that before you go out and that. So let's go to 5. And this is a very important one. This is something I discovered after many years of marriage. Make love to a woman's heart first before you can make love to her body. A lot of men get it wrong. So you have people who think that me, oh, I am very well endowed. Oh, me, I know all the Kama Sutra positions and tricks. Oh no, amateur, shut up. You've got to, for a woman, the key to a woman's body is her heart. When you make love to her heart, she will then give you permission to touch her body fully. If you don't, you've got it wrong. And we get it wrong as men because it is the opposite with us. With a man, the key to my heart is what lies between my legs, what is dangles between my legs. You satisfy that one, my heart opens to you. Don't ask my heart to open to you when you haven't satisfied that. And we take that and we assume that. That is why a lot of men think that if their wives or women are upset with them, all they have to do is to have sex with them and it will go away. No, you are joking, it won't go away. 6, again, I learned this the hard way. Never lie to your wife. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, I have scars to show. It doesn't work. It's not a good strategy. Never lie to your wife. She will find out. She will not find out the same day. She may not find out the same day. Trust me, one day. And quite often, it will come up at a time when you have forgotten. And she doesn't have to go prying. It will be brought to her. She will be sitting here somewhere, minding her own business. And somebody, oh, Mrs. Whyte, did you know? No, on this day, I met, oh, guess what? Your husband. And so, hang on, my husband on that day was supposed to be in Obuasi. She was at Osu. So, never lie to your wife. Gentlemen, that is a good policy to keep in your mind, because the sweating you will sweat when you're exposed, it's not worth it. 7, marriage takes more than love. Marriage takes more than love. That is, when people are not married, love is a big thing. Ask the average person, why do you want to marry, as soon as I say, and say, oh, because I love him, or I love her. No. Marriage takes more than love. Indeed, when you look at the things that make marriage succeed, love does not even make it in the top 5 of the qualities and the things that will give you a successful marriage. Love does not make it in the top 5 of the things that will help you succeed. Respect will come first. Trust, commitment, communication, even humor would come before love. 8, it does not take money to marry. As we say, money does not buy love. It does not take money to marry. But without money, you will never fully enjoy your marriage. Oh. So, gentlemen, go earn some money. Make sure you have a bit of money. Then your marriage will be fine. I realize that all my rich friends, their wives don't give them wahala. Oh, true. For the same things that the poorer ones get wahala, the rich ones also, gentlemen, get a little bit of money. 9, love is not a feeling, it's a choice. So when people come and say that, oh, the love is gone in our marriage, I don't love her anymore, I don't love him anymore, I say, hang on, what are you talking about? Love is not a feeling. So how did it go? It's a choice. If it's a choice, your choice doesn't go away unless you change your mind. So then own up to it and say that I have made up my mind. I want to move away. Don't come and tell me that I need to go away because the love is gone. Love is a choice. It wasn't a feeling. 10, you have a lot of growing up to do and your wife will help you. There are men who think they are wonderful. They think they are very patient. They think they are very cool. They think that, oh, I have my temper in control till you get married. And then they get married, and then they realize that, oh my goodness, and then they blame their wives. In one of the films I watched, a man strikes at his wife, hits her, and then yells, "Look what you make me do!" And I'm watching it and say, "Hey, shut up, small boy. She didn't make you do. She only revealed who you are." And marriage will do that to you. You have a lot of great, and it becomes very, very uncomfortable, especially when you've grown up believing that you are such a fantastic man. Then marriage shows you can be mean, you can be nasty, you can be short-tempered, and then you blame the woman in your life for bringing those things out. No, she only made you. She reflected what you are reflecting. What is already there. Don't blame her. So you have a lot of growing up to do, and your wife will help you. And women are fantastic at that. They will help you. They will help you. Marriage only works, that's 11. Marriage only works when the couple are great at forgiving each other. That is when marriage works. You will need two great forgivers to make for a great marriage. If you've just joined us, we are counting down 29 points that I wish someone, that I would have liked to say to my 29-year-old self just before I took a wife in 83. And so because I'm speaking to a 29-year-old man, I am going to give you 29 points. And then after that, I have a few people in the studio that I would invite to come so we can discuss some of the points. They will tell me which of the points resonated with them, which of them got their attention, and we'll go on. So we've done 11. Let's go to 12. Marriage can be fun or hellish. The choice is yours. If you want your marriage to be fun, it will be fun. If you want it to be a battlefield, it will be a battlefield. It will be whatever you want it to be. It depends on you and how you play your cards. So play your cards well so you would have peace at home. 13. Florence and I have been married for 37 years, and I can tell you it's been fun growing old together. It's fun. I realize that a lot of men, as they grow older, begin to look for younger women. A younger woman will understand you. Who was it? Sinbad, in one of his routines, talks about an old man dating, going out with a younger girl, and he's beginning to have a stroke, and the girl thinks he's making faces at her. Don't do that. What are you doing with your face? And the guy, he said, if he had said with a woman of his age, the woman would have immediately known that, no, something is happening to you. A young girl wouldn't know. It's saying that, why are you making faces at me? And meanwhile, you are dying. So, 14, you won't always like each other, but you can always love each other. You won't always like each other, but you can always love each other. In other words, you can always accept each other. You can always be pleasant to each other. You can always be respectful to each other, but you will not always like each other. One of the friends I made when I visited the U.S. told me this. This was a very big man, and he said, I had a rude awakening in my life when one day my wife woke up, looked at me and said, you know what, I love you, but I don't like you. And he said that made him sit up for the first time in his life. Yes, you will not always like each other, but you can always love each other. And to like each other, then you would have to always be mindful and go back and find out, are we cool? Are we cool? Many people don't ask that too often. 15, there is no point in being critical of your partner because she too can find a lot of things to be critical of you. Don't get a list and mark the things she's doing wrong and how she's not a good wife and things like that. Because if she's also to give you your list of how terrible a husband you are, trust me, for every 1 point you bring out, she can come up with 3. So don't go there at all. Let's see the critical game and just accept each other and love each other and get on. 16. Respect the intelligence of your wife because women are more intelligent than men. I know a lot of men don't like to hear this, but I'll say it till it gets into the psyche of men, that it is true. If you don't believe me, let me ask you, your father and your mother, who is more intelligent? Your father and your mother, who would you go to if you have a crisis? Your sons and your daughters, who is more intelligent? Who acts more mature, the girls or the boys? Especially if they are about the same age. Women are more intelligent than men. Let's respect their intelligence, and we'll be fine. 17, a wife is made for adversity. You know, sometimes you wouldn't know the use of a woman in your life until there's trouble, until there's adversity. It is then that you realize what a blessing it is to have the right woman by your side, because she can help you cope with it like nothing else can. A wife is made for adversity. 18, a woman is as reasonable as the level of communication you have with her. If you communicate well with a woman, she will be the most reasonable being you would ever met. Let her understand what is going on. Give her as much information as she can get. Answer her questions fully and truthfully. And she'll be reasonable. Otherwise, you may think you've married the cousin of the devil. So, a woman is as reasonable as the level of communication you have with her. 19. And I know that the young men here are going to make faces, but when they make faces about this one, I'll tell them to shut up and wait till they are 66, and then they can come up with rebuttal. Sex gets better with age. Sex gets better with age. All of you in your 20s and 30s and you think you're having sex, oh, you don't know 10. Sex gets better with age. And that for me, that has been a very comforting. I thought I was good. Actually, in my 20s and 30s, I thought that they are fine, and really, I wasn't that bad. I mean, but with the years, I could see, oh my God, what were we doing when we were younger? It gets much better, much better with age. And that is, I hope that would encourage all of you to wish to live longer. So those of you who want to die at 40, no, you have more to live for in your 60s as well. 20. You know, it is said that cleanliness is next to godliness. Now I'm going to use that same statement and take it at another level. Cleanliness is next to intimacy and romance. If you are not clean, intimacy and romance becomes some weight. It becomes difficult. So watch how you keep yourself, watch how you keep your surroundings, because it will have influence on your romance. 21, a woman needs her friends and her social network, because a man cannot satisfy all the emotional and social needs of a woman. And a lot of men misunderstand that. We misunderstand that because our life is very simple. The life of a man is so simple. The life of a woman is very different. It's not that simple. Half of the complications of a woman's life is they themselves making it complicated. But even with that they making it complicated, their life as a woman is a little bit complicated. And so a woman always needs at least one good friend with whom she can roll, she can vibe, they can vent to each other. They would understand each other. Because I think I've said it here before, If I leave here, the studio, and I go home and Florence asks me, how was it? My answer is going to be fine. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a very complete answer. It's a very exhaustive, comprehensive answer. But that is not what she wants. She wants more. And in the same way, if I ask her, how was your day? She's not going to say fine. It's going to begin with the weather and some driver who crossed her somewhere along the line. And, and a man, I can't cope with that. So, let her have a friend so she can offload on that friend. 22. You married a girl. Don't forget that, because it never changes. Sometimes you look at the girl you married. She's become a woman. She's become a mother, and you think that, oh, she's now different. No. She still wants to feel attractive. She still wants to feel sexy. She still wants to be pampered. She still wants to be to feel that she's pretty and things like that. So you married a girl, that will never change. I believe that the girls will also know that you married a boy, and that will also never change. 23, a woman needs to verbalize. Don't stop her. When a woman is afraid or upset or insecure, she must talk about it. Don't say, oh, it's okay, it's okay. Let her talk. Let her verbalize. Let her say it. Get it out of her system. It will heal her. So don't say, oh, I know, and oh, it's okay, it's okay. Oh, don't think about it. Oh, don't. Or the worst. No, it is in your mind. It's in your mind. Yes, it's in my mind. That's why I'm talking. So shut up and listen. 24. And this came as a surprise to me, and I realized that it takes a lot for a man to accept that and to flow with that. And it is this: with all your faults, she really loves you. You know, sometimes when we discover ourselves for who we are, we see all our shortcomings and things like that. It becomes very difficult to accept the fact that somebody loves us. And somebody loves us to death. But that is what it is. With all your faults, she doesn't love you because you are perfect. No. Just as you are. She loves you with all your weaknesses, with all your meanness, with all your silliness. She really loves you. 25. Always validate the feelings of your wife. So, if she's upset, validate that. If she feels jealous of your closeness with somebody, validate that and do something about it. Don't dismiss her feelings lightly, because they mean a lot to her. 26, and we would have 3 more to go. 26 says, don't be afraid to be vulnerable with your spouse. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable to your spouse. A lot of us try not to be. We try to hide all our vulnerabilities from our spouses. But part of what helps us to bond and what enhances intimacy is the fact that we are vulnerable to each other. It is to the extent to which we can be vulnerable to each other that enables us to be able to enjoy each other even more. 27. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the side that you water. You know, there are people who, after they've married, are beginning to, they see another girl, and the girl is pretty, she's well-groomed, and they think, my wife is not like that, and I want this one. No, she's like that because somebody is paying for it. You to make that investment in your wife, and you'll discover what a sexy and beautiful woman you have with you. So note this: the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is always greener on the side you water. So water yours, and pay attention to it and see whether you won't have the opportunity to enjoy and be excited about it. 28, never treat your wife in a way you would not want your daughter to be treated in her marriage. Never treat your wife in a way you will not want your own daughter to be treated in her marriage. Always have that in mind. Because guess what? Your wife is somebody's daughter. And she was loved by her parents. And your daughter is going to be somebody's wife. You don't want karma to be visited on your daughter. So never treat your wife in a way you wouldn't want your daughter to be treated in her own marriage. And then the final one, we've made quite a lot of progress quickly. 29, marriage will make you a better man. And you've got to understand that it's not easy. You would have issues along the way. You'll have challenges along the way. But hey, marriage would make a better man of you. It's a reason why married men are often more attractive to single girls. Because single boys, they don't know anything. They still have a lot to learn. And married men are attractive because at least they've learned one or two things about how to deal with a woman, how to make a woman happy, and all that. So, Kwesi, I think we can take a short break after this, and then when we come back, we'll have reactions to the presentation, the 29 points that I would have told my 29 self on the day before my wedding. So, Kwesi, can we take the break now? We'll take a break.
Honey, won't you come to bed?
I'll be with you. I'll be with you.
Come on, let's go to bed too. And you're doing this.
Sir? Sweetheart, I think it's getting late. You should come to bed.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal and Perfect Couple by Uncle Whyte at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 05.
The beginning.
All right. Well, thank you very much for staying with us, and welcome back. Aaron says, I'll be 3 years in marriage on the 13th of this month of May. All right, Aaron, congratulations. I hope you've taken a lot of the notes. Share them with your wife. You know something? Revisit this program and play it together so that you and your wife can listen. Well, Aaron made quite a lot of the points. So well, I'm happy you were able to do that. Kobe seems to be agreeing with the sexual temptations thing. That one, any man who is married knows that. You will know. They lied to us when they said when you marry, it would take care of it. It wouldn't. I've always wondered why they would ask pastors that, oh, go and get married so that you wouldn't be tempted. It's a lie. Who else?
Uncle.
Yes.
But Honeyman says that if marriage doesn't end my lust, I won't agree.
He says what?
If marriage doesn't end my lust, then I won't agree.
All right, then continue living in fantasy. I'm telling you the reality. You'll come and discover that after you've been married. You just have to continually be on your guard and learn the discipline of overcoming the temptation. Hey, Apia, you day. He says marriage must be a good deal. Apia, I've missed you, my GFA man. Okay, I think we can continue. Okay, Jennifer says our whole body is controlled by our heart. Well, men need to know that. For us, our whole being is controlled by something else. That's the difference. Sometimes that is where the confusion comes in. Hey, Nanefua, good to see you, that you are on there. What it didn't work for Uncle Bo doesn't mean it won't work for me with me. Okay. Only one. I hear you.
That's the gentleman who talked about.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I will argue with you. I'm just saying that as for life, it's not like, sometimes when people are going to play football, there's a football match and they're arguing, this one is better than this one. I say, wait, the game will come. At the end of the day, we'll know who won. So, honey, continue living in your fantasy world. By 60, age 60, see if you not agree with the things that I have just shared with you. Okay, I think that let's come in house and talk to some of the people I have missed so much, and I have missed quite a lot of people. Now, again, let me say this again because of what the thing Sonny is saying. These are my experience. This is what I would like to have told my younger self, okay? But I believe that before you disagree with somebody much older than you, have a little bit of patience because you never know. Right. So I have a busy, yay. I have Effie, I have Jollof here with us. We're trying our best with social distancing, kakra. I don't think we've quite got it right, but next week, God willing, we promise you that we'll definitely get the social distancing spot on. So, any of you, which of the points struck you the most? Yeah, busy. You want to have a go?
You won't always like each other, but you will always love each other.
You can always love each other.
You can always love each other.
Yeah.
Uncle, even the dating self.
You don't always like him.
You don't always like him.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I still argue with this thing sometimes. I don't know my thought on it when people say opposites attract.
Okay.
But most of the time, that's how it ends up. And I must admit, if we are opposites, that means there are a lot of things about you I do not fancy. And sometimes, probably you have been living 20 years plus. You have your own habits, you have your own way, your lifestyle, and so does your partner. Then you meet and then you have different interests. Yes, you love each other and all, but sometimes, my God, I'm sorry, and then you will do it again, and then he will do it again. And at the moment, at that particular moment, you are really pissed and you're like, I can't believe it. Why did I find myself here? I really don't like this guy. But with time, you're like, well, people are different. He's changing. I love him. And that really stands out for me because even whilst dating, it's a big deal. And then earn a reputation at home as well. Sometimes we forget that we have, or let me say it this way, it's easy to forget or put the people that are closest to you on the side just to please the others out there. And then you're like, maybe if you're maintenance. And we forget that we are doing a lot of harm. So yeah, those 2 points.
Everything.
Well, similar to Abyss, I was thinking of some of these just in terms of life and friendships and other relationships as well. One that got me was love. I just had it here. Love is not a feeling; it's a choice. Love is not what sustains marriage. But there was one about a woman is as reasonable as the level of communication you have with her. I think that is like fundamental, and not just in marriage, obviously, because I'm not married, but like in general. I think that that's something, if we all take into consideration, it would just be much easier to understand each other. That, okay, perhaps she's not being reasonable because I'm not communicating. So that one, I loved it. And there was one more, 23. A woman needs to verbalize, so allow her to talk. I find that even amongst women folk, women who talk about their feelings are kind of like, it's like she's not so mature because she talks about how she's feeling. The mature ones are the ones who stay quiet and don't talk. But actually, I think they both have their place. So learning how to admit what you have to say and being able to say it, obviously with respect, kindness, and all that, timing, but understanding that verbalization is important for a woman, I think, is key.
Oh, Aaron, check that point 12. Point number 12. It is marriage can be fun or hellish. Hell-ish. So if you can make that correction in your notes, it is not. Yes. Okay. Jollof, how did it hit you?
Sorry.
Well, unsurprisingly, the one that raised my eyebrow was sex gets better with age.
Oh, all right. Okay.
But I thought I feel it's not as simple as that. I mean, we've watched you working out and stuff like that. So I think it also depends on how well the man takes care of himself and stuff like that, because what I've realized is a lot of my friends, not a lot, but generally I notice a trend among the married guys. When the marriage comes, the belly begins to grow, and there's a guy I know, we both know, who was extremely active.
Yeah.
As a single guy, dancing, jumping all over the place, and then I see him a few weeks after marriage, and he has transformed, and he's becoming rounder and stuff like that, And I don't know if it's a trend. It's something that happens generally, but I think that point goes with terms and conditions. And there was another point that raised question marks in my head. The woman still wants to feel attractive and sexy and stuff. And the question that came to mind was, whose primary responsibility is that? Is it that the man has to validate her, even if what he sees is not what he's saying, or is it the woman who has to take care of herself and do that? To what degree does each party take responsibility for the woman feeling good about herself?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the question that came up in my head. Yes.
There's something I have discovered that, and that is in reaction to what you said. Yes, a woman owes it to herself. In fact, I have always said to women, dress for yourself, groom yourself for yourself, groom yourself to feel good about yourself. But women, when they have a man in their life, cannot help do everything for him as well. And when you, the one for whom she's doing this, recognizes it, she does even more. Do you understand me? So she's going to do her hair. She might have done it for herself, but she's also done it very much for you, with you in mind. And if you are able to say, oh, I like the hair, if you even notice it and make a comment on it, or she's put on a dress, oh, I like this dress, oh, no, change, wear this other one. I think that looks fantastic on you. Then you're getting her into a certain mindset where she's now going to do a little bit more of that to please you. Otherwise, it is very easy for all of us to let ourselves go. Because you get to the point, what's the point? What's the point? Because sometimes we forget how comfortable women could be just being shabby. You know, she's working out, she has nowhere to go. She doesn't want to do her hair, she doesn't want to do anything. She doesn't want to wear anything. Indeed, some of my female friends, they don't mind walking around the house naked.
Okay, that one is a bit much.
They would, because what's it? So they could do that. But when they know, oh, someone is watching, someone is noticing, someone is interested, and not just someone, the one I care about, whose views mean a lot to me, is noticing and is interested. It changes the ball game altogether. It enables her to lift a game. It enables her to do this with all the passion, with all the this. Yes, Efe, you wanted to say.
So, Uncle, you just reminded me of some stories I've been reading in the past week or two of different couples and how the lockdown has benefited their relationships. And I remember reading one, I think just yesterday, and she detailed how, you know, back in the day, she used to wear particular, you know, cute shorts in the house and types of tops and do different things with her hair just for him to notice. And at a point, work took over and he just had no time for her. So she decided to change her life. And at the end of the story, when she described how he had told her that suddenly he'd seen she and the children in a new light after having spent so many years not seeing them, being in the space with them for continuous time made him almost fall in love again and appreciate and what she said was, I'm back to wearing my cute shorts again and feeling good walking around the house. So yeah, I think that's something that never changes, and it applies to one of your points. You married a girl, she won't change. She still wants to feel cute. So
Yeah,
I have a question. Is the mic working? Yeah, it's working. Okay.
Okay. Let's go.
There was this play, the play we did, Men Run, Women Cry. There was a scene with a couple, and the man was saying something to the effect that before we married, you were dressing this way, you're dressing that way, and now you have changed.
Yeah.
Now, the men who say those things about their wives, is it that they are not fulfilling their side of the bargain by noticing things, or they're expecting her to be on autopilot, being that way all the time, without any validation from them? Or is it that they are still validating, and yet there's, because of maybe kids or whatever?
It could be all kinds of things. For instance, especially when the children come in, men have no idea how much a baby can wear you out. Especially when they get to the point and they are crawling around and they are moving around and they move so fast and they get into all kinds of things because they don't know the significance of anything. And you're always having to monitor them. Indeed, if you have a toddler with you, any minute you don't see that toddler, you have to panic.
watch out.
Because he is not reading. He's not going to a corner to read. He's causing mischief innocently. He doesn't know what he's doing. And the worst is that if he's just breaking glass and things like that, but he or she may cut himself or herself. And so just monitoring that from toddler stage, and then when they begin to walk around and things like that, and then when they begin to talk, there are endless questions. You know, they come to you, mommy, I want this. Mommy, what is that? And why? And things like that. So if it gets to that point and the man in her life is not supportive, she can give up because it's so difficult just keeping the children. So she will make up her mind what matters, what is urgent. I need to get these children safe, and then forget about every other thing. So, but if the man comes home and takes time with the children and relieves her, or is handling some of the household chores, then of course she has a little bit more time. So that is part of it. The man not validating her could also make her with time decide, why am I even bothering? Because it is no longer easy. It's difficult having all the children to keep all that. But as soon as he begins to validate her, she begins to realize, okay, let's lift our game. And then investment in her wardrobe is important. You know, all these girls we meet outside and they look fantastic. They look like $1 million. They actually cost $1 million.
Almost,
Not
yeah.
$1 million.
They actually do cost $1 million. They say that somebody is paying for that, and it's not their parents. You know, somebody is paying. It is not their parents, and quite often we marry them and we don't make investment. I have said that to men that if you are asking your wife to join you to a party at the office or wherever, at least make provision for her hair, to go and do her hair. If you are not going to get her a new dress, at least as for her hair, let her go and do it. So if the men, and that's why I made a point that the grass is not greener on the other side. It is greener where you water. You water this one, and then you find that it will be cool. Yeah. Yes. Abizi.
Uncle, there's a question here. Someone told me that a married couple have to take turns to pursue individual passions and dreams. What do you say to that?
Come again.
Someone told me that a married couple have to take turns to pursue individual passions and dreams. What do you say to that?
I think that a good marriage works when each of you have a life of your own. You pursue your interests, you pursue your passions. But then, when you do that, always find a way of also coming back together to share your experiences, and then it enriches it. Florence and I seldom do things together, but in the evening, or if I get home too late for that, first thing in the morning, we will touch base, so that I get enriched by her life that she's living out there. She also gets enriched by my life and my activities, and I think that helps. That helps keeps things going. I'm seeing a very interesting thing here. Oni talked about, agreed with the women being intelligent, and she says that Eva Vera, her crush, is intelligent and rough. And there's an Eva Vera here. Are you the Eva Vera that Oni was referring to? And she says, there's always a girl in every woman. Men seem to forget that. And she does, yes. We still have those childhood fantasies. So, Oni, if she's the same Eva Vera, please note, this is for you. Note, this is for you. Which of the points do you think men will struggle with the most? Jolof, hearing the thing, which of the points, as a man, in your man's mind, did you say, this one,
that same point, woman is a girl and stuff like that, because to begin with, it's very difficult for us to notice things and be emotionally aware of what is going on with the woman. In Unhappy Wives, one of the characters said, "What more do you need? I married you. Is that not proof that I love you?"
That I love you, yes.
So, yeah. So if I marry you, it means I love you. That's all. That's the once and for all. I love you, and that's the way our minds are built most of the time. So to remind ourselves that there's still a girl in the woman in our lives, and we have to every now and then make that girl happy. I think it will be very difficult because the consistency to do that and celebrate that and stuff like that, I think it will be hard to be a challenge.
Now, I agree with you. Remember the point I made that our lives are so simple that we cannot imagine how complex theirs could be. That Abisiga can dress and come here and we can all jump around and scream, but she must hear it from somebody. a particular somebody. And if that particular somebody has not said it, all that we've said may feel nice, but it's and Shema. I mean, how do you say that in English? It doesn't make it complete. You know, so there's that complex that yes, she's doing it for herself, but she's always there's a voice is always looking for, and that voice might say something, and that is part of the complexity of their lives. Now, I can come here with a dress, and if none of you comments on it, I'll wear the dress again. No, I'll wear it again, and I will not feel bad wearing it again. For a woman, if she wears the dress out and nobody comments on it, that dress may never go out again.
Oh.
It will suffer a lockdown, even with that coronavirus. It will be locked down.
Uncle, there's this, I don't know whether you feel it too, Effie.
Pick a mic so you can speak.
I don't know if you feel it too, Effie, but sometimes when you wear an outfit, and my whole plan is to come to Kokomlele, ENCORE, and I'm going home. When I come through and everyone's like, oh, Abis, I love your dress. Effie, let's go get ice cream. Everybody has to see my dress. And then we'll go one place to another. Because people say, my shirt are
That's right.
And I feel it every time. I don't know whether you go through that.
So I think I'm really weird, and this is why. A lot of the time, the outfit that me, Effie, I've worked at, I'm like, yeah. That's the one that people are like, about you, why did you, oh, Effie, what? And I'm like, but I like it. I think it's nice. So I would get ice cream either way.
Uncle,
Yes,
I remember in JSS, something very interesting happened. I remember in JSS when I used to sit at the front row. And there was this lady.
This is Ken trying to make us understand that he went to school some. that is
yeah. I used to sit in the front row, and there was this girl who was like 4 seats behind me, and she had this peculiar fragrance that always, she walked past me to go and sit on her chair every time. So I kind of marked her by that fragrance. Even if I was looking elsewhere and she passed, I'll know that she has passed. Then one day she passed and I didn't smell it. So I think I walked to her and I was like, do you use a particular perfume? She says no. Do you ask her a lot of lotion? She says no. Like, okay, so there's this particular fragrance. So her bathing gel. And I'm like, oh, but I didn't smell that today. She says, oh, it's finished. And all I said was, oh, that's why. And I went to sit down. Uncle, this girl translated it as Mesene Hobong. Uncle, she didn't talk to me for like the rest of the... She didn't talk to me like the rest of the term.
No, it's made their own comment on that. Oh my goodness.
That's that.
Ah, well.
That's why.
Can you understand that?
At that age, I wouldn't have understood.
No, now, can you understand why a girl will process it that way? Because you wouldn't have processed it that way.
No, I wouldn't have. Yes, I can understand with a few scrapes and bruises and... I think now I'm beginning to see things like that.
Elijah asks, can we improve without criticizing? When you marry somebody, you've lost the right to try to improve the person. You have lost the right. Accept that. It is not your place anymore. It is not your place anymore to try to improve that person. That person would improve for you if he or she wants, but you cannot make her improve. She won't mind you. It will always lead to a fight and arguments and things like that. Well, let me take your closing comments and then we'll go, because I think we've already gone a few minutes over. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at the time, so we went over it. Yes, any comments from you, your last comment before I run up?
It's a question.
Okay. Let the question come.
Number 24. With all your faults, with all your faults, she really loves
She really loves you. Accept that.
So yeah, that was my question. Do men actually not know that?
No, we don't.
You don't?
No.
And is that something that we need
And
to
that is
tell
why,
you?
That's why. But even women suffer from that. That is why. That is why when you marry or when a relationship becomes stable, stop trying to improve each other by criticizing. Because as soon as you hear criticism, it's like, oh, I'm not worthy.
Yes.
I'm not deserving of love. Now, because of the human nature, we will not express it that way. What? So she thinks I'm not deserving. Okay, I'll show her. I'll show her that there are people out there who likes me. You know, and that is where a lot of affairs have begun like that. A lot of the attitude that people put up. It's only a defensive mechanism because, you know, especially if you grew up in our part of the world where rejection is played in your face on a regular basis, where abuse is a regular thing. Look at you, useless. So when the person who you have given your life to now begins to echo those sentiments of your past, all the childhood fears and insecurities come back. Except that now you're an adult. You process it differently. You know, that's why the boys would bring up their collar, you know, and here, I don't care, I don't give a damn. Okay, so you think that I don't know how to talk. Me, that's the way I talk. All my people in my village, that's the way they talk. So what? And things like that. Then we show off. We dig in. But when you realize that, you know, these criticisms mean nothing. She loves me. And you can accept that yes, I am not perfect. But hey, she's not going to go for another person. She loves me. I am the one she chose, and I am here. Then you are more comfortable with it. And it also enables you to find the grace to do better for her and for yourself. But otherwise, I'll give you, that is when I'll be as unreasonable as with you, because what I want to do is that now I'm doing counterpunching. So you go like, Ebo, look at how dirty you can be. Look at the room. Is it the room you can see? But you, the food you cooked for me this morning, there was too much salt. I mean, you know, counterpunching, and then a simple thing becomes, but yes, I am dirty, but she loves me. So every day I'll begin, oh, she loves me. Once I begin from that, then I'll pick after myself. Not out of fear, but just because I love her too. And she loves me, so hey, let me try to be better for her. It is not rejection. Because for many of us, any criticism is translated as rejection. And if you've lived in a home where you didn't feel accepted and embraced, that thing is the most difficult thing to deal with. Because sometimes we think we've outgrown it, but we never outgrow those things. The things they said to you when you were 3, when you were 4, when you were 5, when you were 6, they never go away. So when, but why do you look at you? Then suddenly I'm hearing the voice of my mother, I'm hearing the voice of an auntie, I'm hearing the voice of a teacher, I'm hearing the voices of my classmates, and I don't like any of them, and you are repeating their lines, so you become their character. Oh, I don't like you too. Except that I'm not going to say, oh, stop it, you're hurting me. I am going to counterpunch. I'm going to pretend as if what you said does not touch my shoe. And then come at you. And see whether you can also take it. You see? And then, so then you get confused. What? All I said was, why are we here? Why have you brought all these things in? It's because I'm counterpunching. Well, with that, happy May Day to everybody. Make the most of the rest of the day. Remember, coronavirus is real. The pandemic is real. You don't have the right to infect another person. So take good care of yourself. I believe that if we all just practice a few common sense things, we would be fine. And then in addition to that, please, when you are praying, pray for the doctors and nurses on the front lines. Pray for them, pray for their families, because the risk they are taking is not easy. I know a doctor who has had to send her child out of the home to her mother far away because she fears that when she comes from the hospital, she could infect her baby. That's the level of sacrifices our frontliners are making for all of us. So if you know a doctor, if you know a nurse, please applaud them, because we are now discovering how precious and how valuable they are. But meanwhile, you too, wash your hands. Everybody near me knows that washing hands is a big thing. It's been a big thing with Roverman. They hate me for it, but I won't change for them. So wash your hands. Everybody here has what do you call is it a face mask and all that? Nose mask, actually, not a face mask, and all that. Invest in that. If you are going into a public place, protect yourself, and may God protect all of us and keep all of us. Hopefully, we'll see you next week again. So until then, stay safe.